Hi, good morning, everyone. So, today the topic of this video is the inputs on the different modules that we teach under data science and analytics. So, these modules are broadly divided under our two courses, that is PG and Masters. So, let's begin with the first question, that what is data science and what is the need of analytics? So, to give you a broader perspective, data science is a field where we perform analysis based on the data that is being given to us. Okay. Now, this data can be in form of structured or unstructured data. Now, what exactly do we mean by structured or unstructured data? So, when I have data in form of an Excel sheet, that would become a structured data. But if I send information in form of a text message, email, image, video, that becomes unstructured. Now, when I want to perform analysis on this, I need certain statistical tools to work around with it, so that we can understand the hidden patterns within it and then make decisions. Okay, so overall of what the analysis would be is what kind of inputs we imply on this. Okay, that is data science altogether. Now let's deep dive a little bit in data science, wherein we need to understand what are the technologies that are needed in data science. Now, when we talk about these technologies, uh, the father of data science, Drew Conway, he has created this Venn diagram where he says that there are three major technologies that we are supposed to focus on. And based on that, we would be able to deal with the data science in a complete fashion. Now, what exactly are we going to help the students with? Okay, so the first, we'll help the students with maths and statistics. We have our self-paced learning product that is developed in maths and statistics, where we cover up the basic of mathematics, inferential statistics, descriptive statistics, probability, which is the basics for learning anything in data science. So that is what we are covering up through our curriculum in maths and statistics. Again, I repeat this point, we are going to keep this as a self-learning, self-paced learning, which means they will be provided with videos and notes which they can go through as and when required. The second thing is computer science. Now, when we talk about computer science, it is about giving them knowledge on Python, R programming, big data, and the other technologies, so that the candidate is well versed with the coding aspect. So, when we talk about computer science, it's more about programming as a whole. Now, domain expertise is something which the students would gain with time. No fresher has domain knowledge. When they start working, they gain experience, and with that, they would be able to work around with things. Now, when we talk about statistic knowledge, it's not only about having knowledge of basic statistics. There's much more to it. Okay. So, in the upcoming slides, we'll understand what's more that is required when it comes to statistical analysis. Okay. Moving ahead, we are going to talk about the fields in data science. This is very, very important that we understand what are the fields in data science. So, when I say artificial intelligence, that's the biggest layer, that's on the outermost layer. Inside that, we have machine learning, and then we have deep learning. Okay, so when we say that we are going to make you AI proficient, that does not mean the student, just by learning machine learning, is good to go ahead with AI. No, that's not possible. The student has to go through all the aspects, and then that person would be able to reach to the level where he is, or she can develop AI projects. Okay, now what exactly is machine learning? So, machine learning is where I teach the machine to learn from experience and start giving us output and predictions. Okay, whereas deep learning is where the machine is going to mimic a human brain in form of the neural network. And when it comes to artificial intelligence, it's when example like Google Assistants, the Google Assistant behaves like a human being, right? So when a machine put together machine learning, deep learning, and all attributes together, it becomes artificial intelligence. So these are the major three fields in data science. Now let's jump to the curriculum that we teach. So we start with Python programming. This is the most easiest programming form that we have, wherein you can just jump deep dive into learning Python. It's pretty simple. Anyone in from any field can pick up Python because it's like as simple as learning English language. So very simple to go ahead with. Plus it comes free of charge. There's no license cost, and it has a very good communication skill with the your file IO, because of which Python is much more famous. So very simple programming language to learn. Similarly, we have R programming. R programming is, if we compare Python and R, Python has much more higher demand in comparison to R programming, but R also is in demand. We can say a 60-40% of ratio in the market. That's the reason we teach R programming also. So as it goes, again, it's an open source language. It has advanced statistical languages which are very much inbuilt. In Python, we do not have them inbuilt. We have to use supporting libraries to work with them. Okay, we have beautiful graph functionalities available, and it's flexible to learn and fun to achieve on. Okay, so that is why we also teach R programming. Moving ahead, as we focus more on Python, so in Python, when we want to deal with small amount of data, as we know that data science deals directly with data. So when we want to deal more with data, we have libraries like NumPy and Pandas that allow us to deal with Excel sheets. So anything that you do in an Excel, which is a pretty small data that can be easily managed through a Excel, as well as can be coded through Python using NumPy and Pandas. Okay, moving ahead, if we have a mid-size data. Now when I say mid-size data, I'm not talking about GBs of data. Okay, I'm talking about terabytes of data. So if I want to manage, let's say 1 terabyte or 1 petabyte of data, until then I can easily handle the data with the help of a database. Now we teach MySQL and MongoDB over here, wherein it is nothing but it is called as the relational database management system. There are many more softwares, all are similar in coding, nothing much as a difference. Now the question comes, what if I have to handle petabytes and zettabytes of data? Okay, there it's that is the point where we introduce big data analytics. Big data analytics is majorly used for collection of data from unstructured data. So when I say unstructured data, it is like scraping the complete websites and collecting the information. Just for an example, in 2014, when BJP won the election, they came up with this 365-day plan that every day, the whole year, we are going to solve one problem at a time. Okay, now the question is, how did they achieve this? How did they get 365 problems to solve in 365 days? Okay, so the big data analytics was used over here, wherein the complete impact on social media like Twitter, Facebook, the complete social media was dug. Okay, they analyzed for the data through big data over there. They started giving ratings to the issues, and based on the ratings, top 365 issues were shortlisted to be answered, in the next 1 year. So that was the biggest project that was done in India by the government to start off working on the lines of data science. So one of the projects that was implemented in our country. Moving ahead, we need visualization. Now, the question is why visualization? Obviously, when I have to showcase my analysis to the management, to the top management, they prefer graphs, right? So, this is where data visualization comes into picture. Basic visualization is possible in Python and R programming. But when we want to go one top notch, when we want to increase the style and the technique of visualization, we introduce our students to Tableau. Okay, we introduce our students to two different visualization tools. One is Tableau and one is Power BI. Both are equally in demand in market. Point A. Point B, Power BI is easy to use, whereas Tableau is also easy to use but is much more effective and faster. Tableau comes with a cost, whereas Power BI is much more cheaper. Okay, Power BI uses all Microsoft products like your Microsoft Office, Azure, SQL Server to work with your coding in Power BI, whereas Tableau has a support on much more higher level of products in comparison to Power BI. So both have a win-win situation, but depends on what company's requirement is based on that. So that's the reason we teach both visualization tools, Power BI and Tableau. Now let's begin with the core concepts in data science. The first, we begin with machine learning. Machine learning is more on prediction. Let's say I have invested X amount of money on advertising. So, what is the monthly sales that I target to achieve? Okay, based on the amount invested. So, we are going to actually give this prediction to our company, wherein if we invest, let's say, Y amount, then we get a Z amount of sales in the required month. That kind of activities can be easily done in machine learning, and these are the basic statistical analysis algorithms that are being taught to the students. Moving to deep learning, now let's make this picture more clear. Okay, when we say we have deep learning is a very vast subject. Okay, we are talking about mimicking a human brain. So let's take a simple example. Now, while you are listening to this video, you are performing multiple tasks. For example, you are breathing, you're winking your eyes, you are sensing the environment around you, right? You may be writing down things using your hand and a pen, right? You would be also processing the information being given to you while you are listening, right? So when you are able to perform all of these multiple activities together, what are we doing? That's my brain processing things together. So if I want a simulation of the same, then we introduce deep learning. Now, we we can do things with machine learning, but we need deep learning. So when I have complex unstructured data to process, we need deep learning. Now the bigger picture is deep learning is a vast program which we have divided into subtopics. Okay, so deep learning also comprises of NLP, which is nothing but natural language processing, where you will be able to create chatbots, do sentiment analysis, work with something similar to Alexa, uh, Google Assistant, right? We will be also able to work with object detection. Again, this is also part of deep learning using computer vision. So, if I off lately, the latest, because of the pandemic that is going on, the latest product which is highly used in the market is whether a person is wearing a mask or no. And if I talk about the Indian road traffic rules, we have the product already launched wherein the challan system does this directly. It detects whether the two-wheeler driver has worn a helmet or no, and then based on that it works on the challan system. So these all aspects are possible with the help of computer vision. So the way you can see in this image, the image is being classified and the objects have been detected, wherein you can see the traffic lights, person, car, truck, bus, handbag, all of these different products have been detected in a single image. That is possible with the help of computer vision. Recommender system, again a part of deep learning. What is the idea? The idea of recommender system is when you watch a video on YouTube, you get similar types of suggestions. Because now over here, you watch a video for just 30 seconds out of 1 hour, you didn't like the video, you just skipped off, right? So you're not going to get any suggestion based on 30 seconds of watch. What if you end up watching the whole movie and you like the context? Because you like the context, that's the reason you watch the whole movie, right? So that is where you are going to start getting suggestions on with regards to similar lines of movies from YouTube, Netflix, Amazon, Google. Everywhere you will have the same implementation. So that's possible with the help of recommender system. We move to the last bit of deep learning, that is time series analysis. Now, time series analysis is majorly used in the share market, where time is my major factor based on which the whole prediction works. So, when I want to predict a stock price every minute and I give the instruction to my bot whether to buy a stock price or sell a stock price, that kind of activities can be easily done with time series analysis. Now, when we put all of this together, we bring in artificial intelligence. That is where you bring in your artificial intelligence projects into pictures, right? And we cover up the whole data science. That's all from my side. Thank you.